Good morning. This is Mark Bruno, editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. It's Friday, which means we're here with Frank. And before we bring Frank on, I just want to remind everyone to please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you have a topic that you'd like us to consider for a future episode, just shoot us a note and we'll definitely consider it. So, Frank, how are you? Good morning.
First of all, I'm very pleased and honored to have a dear friend visiting with us today. Um, he was kind enough to invite us to this uh, quite a display at his New York City office, and it was so impressive. I've been to a lot of these meetings, and I have to tell you, this was in many ways an eye opener because of what they were doing there. Uh, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my dear friend, Jerry Blaine. Hey, Jerry.
Frank, always good to see you.
I was just so impressed with what was going on. And if I understood it correctly, and then I want to hear it from you, you were basically creating an environment where you're printing on everything. Is that a fair statement?
I don't know. I don't know about everything, but we were printing on a lot of things. Yeah. That was only one segment of what we were doing there. Actually, the whole purpose of the tech show was to highlight our non-print activities, the things that we are doing that are not print. But in that particular instance, there are a whole lot of what we're calling production, print applications that are far and away different than they were, 10 years ago, or when we first started the company, for that matter, 25 years ago. And we had a brand, as you know, Color Toolbox, where, we highlighted what clients, what end users could actually do with color print. And this is just really like a natural evolution of in our definition of production print, this was just a natural evolution of where production print has gone.
Well, it was interesting to me. Now, traditionally, you've been a Canon, Sharp, Xerox dealer. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And walking around the room, I see Duplo, Formax, Gotham Binder, Triumph, Cutter. I mean, all kinds of different companies doing different things. Access Communication, Samsung. What has been the response to these products? Is there anyone leading the way to show that you can do so much more in the print environment on different substrates?
Sure. So let me explain it like this. So in our definition of production print, you take the first seven letters of production and product, it's a product. And for us, that's what it's always been. If you took that portion of our showroom even 20 years ago, there would be um, a lot of other manufacturers, represented with products. One that you might know that was a big flop is 3D, and we had product from different 3D manufacturers and so on. So, with the ones that you had mentioned, these are just add-on products to facilitate special applications that clients would have in printing, and of course, printing in color in particular. That makes sense?
Yes, very much so. And we've been using that term, printing on different substrates, for quite a while. I think it's
Right.
commonly used, but what you're doing is really broadening that considerably. You had told me a story about something where you were able to sell a customer 1,000 cameras. Did I understand that correctly?
We have several customers with that kind of volume in the cameras. This is just, security. So we did, as an example, we've done a sports stadium. We've done uh, a big housing complex in Brooklyn, probably, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 buildings, something like that. Also over 1,000 cameras. But these, in those cases, these are all networked. They're networked to access control. People, can get in. They're not only get into their spaces, they can use them in the use it in the elevator, not just to show images, but also to facilitate whatever other applications there are that run around the camera installations. So as far as access is concerned, it's only one of really three manufacturers that we are doing business with currently who produce these security cameras. And Axis, which is really what got us into the business to begin with. A fun fact, if you will, at least a fun fact for us, Canon bought that company several years ago, and that's how we got introduced into that business. And just like with every other thing that we do, to answer applications for our end user customers, we hired people who knew this business. They were subject matter experts in this, and in that particular case, we really did hit the ground running. And the applications are, I mean, literally limitless. You can't go anywhere now. I mean, literally anywhere without your image being able to be captured.
One last question, and it's kind of intrigued me because going to a lot of Sharp meetings over the past few years, and I've talked to a lot of Sharp dealers, and you were showing quite a few of their panels in there.
Sure.
Is that something you've been selling for quite a while?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have. And we've gone through again, a complete evolution of what applications the video can serve. We've got just great examples. I'll give you one, that I particularly like. Um, a local um, a local school district bought. They probably have. Before I tell you what they bought, they probably have somewhere around 35 to 40 locations. I'm not exactly sure. Between, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, um, and the like, and the support services that they do. But this one really was near and dear to my heart. Before any student or faculty go in to get their either, breakfast or lunch, there's a beautiful panel with great software that describes not only what's available for them to eat, but gives them the nutritional value of that as well. And messages, that come across. And we made that also into a learning experience, for kids and those users so that they understand what it is that they're putting in their bodies, so to speak. MAXHUB, a new player because we were in that business and successfully came to us and offered to set up their very first so-called experience center right in our showroom, and we jumped on it, and it's been of tremendous value to us.